Okay, things are getting weird at OpenAI. So last Monday, OpenAI unveiled GPT-4o. This is by far the smartest AI model out there. Plus, they have a voice assistant mode where you can just talk to the AI in real time and it would respond in a very natural, human way. If you're not aware of this, do watch these two videos where I do a deep dive on this new technology. Now, this announcement blew everyone's mind. It showed that OpenAI is indeed still the leader in AI. They have the most cutting-edge models and the most powerful technologies, and we're only seeing a glimpse of it. This is only the tip of the iceberg. So this seemed like a huge win for OpenAI, at least for the start of the week. But as the week progressed, things just kind of got worse and worse. Top executives at OpenAI left without any reason, or they called out OpenAI on the way out. These past few days have just been filled with drama, and it's actually slightly scary to see this all unfold. There seems to be some major tension going on at OpenAI. There seems to be some major disagreements about something bigger that we are not aware of. So today, I'm going to review everything that has happened so far in this drama. Now, before we go into the details of this week, let's rewind back in time to November of 2023. Sam Altman, the CEO of OpenAI, was fired by the board of directors. Now, this is the original board of directors. As far as we know, the firing of Sam Altman was originally led by Helen Toner and Tasha McCauley. We believe that they were concerned about AI safety, and they're the ones who suggested ousting Sam Altman. Now, as we see from this headcount, it's 2 to 3, so this is not enough people to fire Sam Altman. However, something happened, as hinted in this quote from Sam.
So I'm super excited. I can't imagine anything more exciting to work on. And on a personal note, like 4 times now in the history of OpenAI, the most recent time was just in the last couple of weeks. I've gotten to be in the room when we sort of like push the veil of ignorance back and the frontier of discovery forward. And getting to do that is like the professional honor of a lifetime.
So what exactly did he witness that pushed the veil of ignorance backward and the frontier of discovery forward? The team at OpenAI likely witnessed some huge breakthrough. They've created an AI that was maybe way smarter and way more capable than anything anyone has ever seen. Could this be AGI? Check out this video if you haven't already. But anyways, whatever they've witnessed, this likely caused Chief Scientist Ilya Sutskever to now switch sides and join Helen Toner and Tasha McCauley. And this tipped the balance of power in her favor, and ultimately they were able to fire Sam Altman in November. Now, Sam was fired on a Friday, and the original board of directors did not reveal any reason why they fired Sam Altman. But through a series of events that happened over the weekend, including most of OpenAI's employees threatening to quit unless they bring Sam back, as well as Microsoft threatening to hire Sam and all of OpenAI's employees into Microsoft, the original board of directors were forced to bring Sam back on Monday, and they were also forced to resign. Now, this is actually a very long and complicated story in itself, so if you want to learn more about what happened, watch this video. Now, since that incident, Ilya still remained as chief scientist at OpenAI, even though he was the one who allegedly called Sam to join a meeting with the board of directors where they then fired him. It's also important to mention that Ilya is a crucial part of OpenAI, so he is one of the leading AI scientists in the world, and they actually poached Ilya from Google DeepMind to join OpenAI. So long story short, Ilya is a key part of OpenAI's success, especially in the early days. But since that fiasco in November, Ilya has been strangely silent. His last post was in December 14th, where he just retweeted a post from OpenAI. You know, before this incident, Ilya is quite outspoken. He would accept interviews and talk at various events. But ever since November, we've just heard silence. And this sparked a bunch of memes on the internet, including what did Ilya see? What did he see that spooked him so much that he decided to fire Sam Altman? Here's another popular meme. Where is Ilya? Now, all this time, Sam Altman has been on various interviews, podcasts, and events. And when asked about Ilya, he always conveyed that Ilya is still working at OpenAI. They're still working together and everything is fine. But we all kind of perceived that this wasn't really the case. It's hard to continue working together with someone who fired you. The trust had already been broken. So fast forward to this week, after months of silence, Ilya finally tweeted this. After almost a decade, I have made the decision to leave OpenAI. The company's trajectory has been nothing short of miraculous, and I'm confident that OpenAI will build AGI that is both safe and beneficial under the leadership of Sam, Greg Brockman, Mira Murati, and now under the excellent research leadership of Jacob. It was an honor and a privilege to have worked together, and I will miss everyone dearly. So long, and thanks for everything. I'm excited for what comes next, a project that is very personally meaningful to me, about which I will share details in due time. Now, this has gotten over 5 million views, and again, this is the first time that we've heard anything from Ilya since last year. And from all the podcasts and interviews that Sam has done this year, there was some speculation that Sam Altman is just making it seem like Ilya was still working at OpenAI, but in reality, maybe he wasn't, and that he was working on his own thing. And this tweet, where Ilya talks about a project that is very personally meaningful to him, perhaps suggests that he's already working on this. So maybe he's already been working on something behind the scenes. And then after this tweet, Ilya also posts this photo of the team. So here is Ilya at the center. Here is Jacob, the new chief scientist who will replace Ilya. And then here's Greg Brockman. Here is Sam. And then here is CTO Mira Murati. Now, note that this tweet is just very formal. It seems like corporate speak. It's very sugar-coated. As you'll see in a second, another executive has also left, and their response is much more direct and explicit. But anyways, let's focus on this first. After this came out, Sam Altman also tweeted about this. So he said, Ilya and OpenAI are going to part ways. This is very sad to me. Ilya is easily one of the greatest minds of our generation, a guiding light of our field, and a dear friend. His brilliance and vision are well known. His warmth and compassion are less well known, but no less important. OpenAI would not be what it is without him. Again, Ilya is one of the smartest AI scientists in the world, and has been pivotal to the success of OpenAI in the early days. Although he has something personally meaningful he is going to work on, I am forever grateful for what he did here and committed to finishing the mission we started together. I am happy that for so long I got to be close to such genuinely remarkable genius, and someone so focused on getting to the best future for humanity. Jacob is going to be our new chief scientist. Jacob is also easily one of the greatest minds of our generation. I'm thrilled he is taking the baton here. He has run many of our most important projects, and I am very confident that he will lead us to make rapid and safe progress towards our mission of ensuring that AGI benefits everyone. So Jacob is the guy on the left here. Now, before we talk about the other executive leaving, I just wanted to clarify the current political landscape at OpenAI. After Sam Altman was fired and then rehired, this forced most of the old board members to leave. And then Sam Altman handpicked the new board members. This means that right now, it's pretty much impossible to fire Sam Altman, because the new board members are all on his side. He is now the king of OpenAI and will continue to be the king. It's also important to note that Ilya is just one of probably many people at OpenAI who are also concerned about something, and this something likely had to do with AGI or safety. It's likely that a lot of folks were on Ilya's side as well, but just given the current political landscape, you can't really challenge Sam Altman's authority, unless he does something horribly wrong and this causes the new board members to fire him. But this is very unlikely. And after Ilya posted this group photo, Sam also retweeted it and wrote, "Feeling the AGI today." So is this hinting at them achieving AGI? Let me know what you think in the comments below. Now again, all of this seems like very sugar-coated. Everything is just very positive and formal. And this is not how Sam Altman usually talks. First of all, he usually types in all lowercase, and his tweets are much shorter. So for example, when they unveiled GPT-4, he just wrote her. And then here's another one, too long for a tweet, some thoughts on GPT-4. So these are all lowercase, these are all very short and informal. So this kind of seems out of place and very formal. But anyways, enough of this corporate speak. Let's look at another executive who was much more direct. So this is Jan Leike. Hope I pronounced that right. He is a machine learning researcher who co-led the Superalignment team at OpenAI. Here he says, optimizing for a post-AGI future where humanity flourishes. And on May 14th, shortly after Ilya resigned, Jan simply tweeted, "I resigned." Now this looks much more like Twitter language. And then yesterday, he posts some more. So he wrote, "It's been such a wild journey over the past 3 years. My team launched the first ever reinforcement learning with human feedback LLM with Instruct GPT, published the first scalable oversight on LLMs, etc., etc. More exciting stuff is coming out soon." And then here he writes, "I love my team. I'm so grateful for the many amazing people I got to work with, both inside and outside of the Superalignment team. OpenAI has so much exceptionally smart, kind, and effective talent." Again, this is just positive and sugar-coated, but then the tone switches and he gets more direct. "Stepping away from this job has been one of the hardest things I have ever done, because we urgently need to figure out how to steer and control AI systems much smarter than us. AI systems much smarter than us." Again, is this hinting at AGI? Is this hinting that they have already created something that is way more intelligent, way more capable than anything we've ever seen? I joined because I thought OpenAI would be the best place in the world to do this research. However, I have been disagreeing with OpenAI leadership about the company's core priorities for quite some time, until we finally reached a breaking point. So this is key here. It seems there has been some tension for a while now, and this tension has just been building and building until finally it has reached a breaking point. I suspect this is also related to whatever Ilya has witnessed back in November, which caused him to fire Sam Altman. There's probably some super intelligent AI that's brewing behind the scenes. Some might even suspect it's AGI. And this person, Jan, along with others at OpenAI, have been increasingly concerned about the safety of this thing. I believe much more of our bandwidth should be spent getting ready for the next generations of models on security, monitoring, preparedness, safety, adversarial robustness, etc., etc. These problems are quite hard to get right, and I am concerned we aren't on a trajectory to get there. So one of the top leaders in AI security directly calls out OpenAI and thinks that they are heading in the wrong direction. Over the past few months, my team has been sailing against the wind. Sometimes we were struggling for compute, and it was getting harder and harder to get this crucial research done. It's very interesting that he mentions struggling for compute. First of all, compute is a major limitation for AI researchers. They need to have enough compute to build and deploy and train state-of-the-art models. But it seems like that shouldn't be a bottleneck for OpenAI. Remember, they're teaming up with Microsoft and their Azure data centers, so they have one of the most powerful data centers in the world. Compute should not be a problem for OpenAI. But Jan is saying they were struggling for compute. So this could imply that not enough resources were allocated to this alignment team to focus on safety, and instead most of the resources were being funneled into building better and smarter AI models. He continues by saying, "Building smarter than human machines is an inherently dangerous endeavor. OpenAI is shouldering an enormous responsibility on behalf of all humanity, but over the years, safety, culture, and processes have taken a backseat to shiny products." And this is indeed true to some extent. So, for example, last week we've seen GPT-4o, which is this super smart AI model which you could talk to in real time. And the AI voice assistant just sounds so natural and so human. It just blew everyone's mind. And a few months ago, they unveiled Sora, which is a revolutionary AI video generator which just blows all other competitors out of the water. They're not even close to what Sora can generate. And these are indeed shiny products, which are great for content creation, great for consumers. These are very attractive, especially when it comes to marketing and PR. And then he continues by saying, "We are long overdue in getting incredibly serious about the implications of AGI. We must prioritize preparing for them as best we can. Only then can we ensure AGI benefits all of humanity. OpenAI must become a safety-first AGI company." And then he writes to all OpenAI employees, "Learn to feel the AGI. Act with the gravitas appropriate for what you are building. I believe you can ship the cultural change that is needed. I'm counting on you. The whole world is counting on you." And this is where it gets slightly scary for me. To feel the AGI. It seems to be implying that AGI is already here, or that they're at least very close to achieving AGI. And this aligns with my previous video where I made a case that they might have already achieved AGI even as early as last year. And so if this were true, if they've already achieved AGI, if they've already created a super intelligent entity, if this gets out or if it gets internet access, it could easily start to perhaps replicate itself, start to accumulate wealth and power, and eventually hack everything and cause chaos to society. Now, it's not a secret that OpenAI is working towards achieving AGI. But here he emphasizes the importance of making AGI that benefits all of humanity, not just making AGI. Alright, but even with such a long string of tweets, you might have noticed that it's very vague and Jan has not revealed what exactly is going on behind the scenes at OpenAI, which caused him to be concerned and caused him to quit. Same with Ilya's post, this just seems very sugar-coated and positive, and it did not go into the specific details on what exactly happened. What exactly did they witness, and why is Ilya quitting? Now, there could be a very valid and legal reason why they're not spilling the beans. It turns out that all OpenAI executives and employees need to sign a non-disclosure agreement. And if they break this agreement, in other words, if they expose some secrets or spill the beans, they could lose all their equity, which amounts to millions of dollars. In this article, it says, it turns out there's a very clear reason for that. I have seen the extremely restrictive offboarding agreement that contains non-disclosure and non-disparagement provisions former OpenAI employees are subject to. It forbids them for the rest of their lives from criticizing their former employer. Even acknowledging that the agreement exists is a violation of it. If a departing employee declines to sign the document, or if they violate it, they can lose all vested equity they earned during their time at the company, which is likely worth millions of dollars. One former employee, Daniel Kokotajlu, who posted that he quit OpenAI due to losing confidence that it would behave responsibly around the time of AGI, has confirmed publicly that he had to surrender what would have likely turned out to be a huge sum of money in order to quit without signing the document. So here is Daniel's post. To clarify, I did sign something when I joined the company, so I'm still not completely free to speak, still under confidentiality obligations, but I didn't take on additional obligations when I left. Unclear how to value the equity I gave up, but it probably would have been about 85% of my company's net worth at least. So shots fired, kind of. Now we know that all OpenAI employees are forced to sign this agreement, which forbids them for the rest of their lives to criticize OpenAI or even acknowledge that the agreement exists. But that's not the end of it. So in response to this, Sam Altman just tweeted this out today. In regards to recent stuff about how OpenAI handles equity, we have never clawed back anyone's vested equity, nor will we do that if people do not sign a separation agreement. Vested equity is vested equity, full stop. There was a provision about potential equity cancellation in our previous exit docs, although we never clawed back anything. It should never have been something we had in any documents or communication. This is on me, and one of the few times I've been genuinely embarrassed running OpenAI. I did not know this was happening, and I should have. So it seems like even though there is this provision in the agreement, OpenAI has never had to claw back any equity from anyone who left. And Sam Altman, as the CEO, says that this is on him, this is his fault, and this shouldn't have been in the agreement. So he says that the team was already in the process of fixing this, and if any former employee who signed one of these old agreements is worried about it, they can contact him and we'll fix it too. Very sorry about this. Now, this is where it gets interesting. If Sam Altman gives the green light for people who have left to spill the beans without any legal consequences, this reply sums it up very nicely. Does that mean former employees are allowed to criticize OpenAI without any negative consequences? And if that's true, then maybe very shortly we're going to start to see some secrets exposed. We're going to see what secret projects or secret technologies OpenAI has been brewing all this time. So anyways, a lot of drama going on. And then back to Jan Leike's tweet, Sam Altman also wrote a response to this. So first, he writes that I'm super appreciative of Jan's contributions to OpenAI's alignment research and safety culture, and very sad to see him leave. He's right that we have a lot more to do, we are committed to doing it. I'll have a longer post in the next couple of days. So that was posted yesterday, and then just today, this came out, which is likely the quote-unquote longer post, that Sam was referring to. So this was written by both Sam and Greg. We're really grateful to Jan for everything he's done. We know he'll continue to contribute to the mission from the outside. In light of the questions his departure has raised, we wanted to explain a bit about how we think about our overall strategy. First, we have raised awareness of the risks and opportunities of AGI so that the world can better prepare for it. We have repeatedly demonstrated the incredible possibilities from scaling up deep learning and analyzed their implications, called for international governance of AGI before such calls were popular, and helped pioneer the science of assessing AI systems for catastrophic risks. Second, we have been putting in place the foundations needed for safe deployment of increasingly capable systems. Figuring out how to make a new technology safe for the first time is not easy. For example, our teams did a great deal of work to bring GPT-4 to the world in a safe way, and since then have continuously improved model behavior and abuse monitoring in response to lessons learned from deployment. And by the way, before I continue, I also want to emphasize that we should always assume good intentions. So I don't think Sam Altman and Greg Brockman and OpenAI are pure evil, and they're doing this for some evil purposes. Here they are explaining why they have incrementally rolled out these new features in a safe way. Keep in mind that GPT-4 was finished training in July or August of 2022, so they're only releasing this like 2 years afterwards. They're releasing everything bit by bit to ensure that it doesn't cause chaos to society. Third, the future is going to be harder than the past. We need to keep elevating our safety work to match the stakes of each new model. We adopted our preparedness framework last year to help systematize how we do this. And then he goes on to explain all the benefits that this new technology will bring to society. We know we can't imagine every possible future scenario, so we need to have a very tight feedback loop, rigorous testing, careful consideration at every step, world-class security, and harmony of safety and capabilities. We'll keep doing safety research targeting different timescales. We are also continuing to collaborate with governments and many stakeholders on safety. And, I tend to agree. This technology has never been released before to humanity, so it's impossible to think of every possible scenario that will play out. And that's why they are releasing all these new features step by step, first to a small group of alpha testers, and then to beta testers, before finally releasing to the general public. It's also very hard to regulate this, and I don't think there is a right answer or a right strategy on how to handle this technology safely. There's no proven playbook for how to navigate the path to AGI. We think that empirical understanding can help inform the way forward. We believe both in delivering on the tremendous upside and working to mitigate the serious risks. We take our role here very seriously and carefully weigh feedback on our actions. And again, here is a very key sentence. There's no proven playbook on how to regulate this, and I'm sure everyone at OpenAI are aware of this. There's probably a spectrum where on one side we have people who are very concerned about safety, whereas on the other side we have people who are less concerned. But nevertheless, they are still concerned that AGI could have severe consequences if we don't regulate it safely. There's also a lot of game theory involved here. So OpenAI is probably the leader in AI right now. They have the leading technology, the leading AI models. They might even have AGI behind closed doors. Now, if they stopped developing this because they're concerned about safety, well, all these other companies, including potential bad actors who are also racing towards AGI, they're going to catch up. And if we assume that OpenAI are the good guys here, but they stop developing smarter AI models, they stop making AGI better and better due to safety concerns, well, they could easily be outcompeted and outpaced by bad actors who are also working on the same thing. And once they get overtaken by these bad actors, it's really hard to catch up again. So due to this whole game theory scenario, it's really unfortunate, but it's inevitable that all these AI companies have to keep racing. They have to keep pushing as quickly as possible to develop AGI, because if they don't, they're going to get outpaced, and whoever gets it first will likely stay at the top and decimate everyone else. So that's the unfortunate scenario that we're in right now, and it's really hard to stop doing what you're doing just because of safety concerns. In a sense, it might even be more dangerous if they stopped. And finally, I want to end with this. So Ilya and Jan are not the only executives to leave OpenAI due to safety concerns. So here's actually a timeline of all the major executives that have left OpenAI throughout the years. So the first notable executives to leave were Dario and Daniela Amodei, who left in 2021 to start Anthropic, and they have now become OpenAI's biggest competitor. And Dario stated in an interview that his estimation of p-doom, this stands for the probability of doom. In other words, the probability that AI would wipe out humanity and cause a doomsday event, he estimates that that chance is 10 to 25%. And then also in 2021, we have Dr. Paul Cristiano, who invented reinforcement learning with human feedback. He resigned to start the Alignment Research Center, which is a nonprofit focused on AI safety. He believes that the probability of doom is 50%. And then in November of 2023, the board fires Sam Altman, which kind of backfired, and then the board was forced to resign. And then earlier this year, OpenAI fires 2 safety researchers for allegedly leaking information. And then also earlier this year, Daniel, this is the guy who kind of leaked the details of this non-disclosure agreement. He resigned, and he stated that his estimate of the probability of doom would be 70%. And then most recently, we have Ilya and Jan resigning. So just some crazy drama going on at OpenAI this week. It's important to note that this is an area of active debate, and there's no right answer. Some argue that we should really slam the brakes and focus on AI safety, whereas others argue that that's actually even more dangerous. The safe thing to do is to keep going, because if you don't, you're going to be outpaced by bad actors. But anyways, this is all the information we know right now about what's going on at OpenAI. Let me know in the comments what you think. Are you also concerned about AI safety and you would like to pause all these AI developments? Or are you more optimistic and you'd like to see them keep pushing towards AGI? And on the note of AGI, how soon do you think we can achieve AGI? Or do you think they've already achieved it behind closed doors? Let me know in the comments below. As always, I tried to find all the information out there and condense it into easy to understand videos. So if you enjoyed this video, remember to like, share, subscribe, and stay tuned for more content. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.